Hi everyone, good morning. It's Margaret Manning here. Welcome to 60 and Me. Hope you're having a fabulous day today. Hope that everything's going well in your life, and thanks for being here, for joining us for this morning chat. I'm having my cup of tea this morning. I've decided I'm going to be a little bit of a rebel and drink something that I don't normally drink, which is a licorice and cinnamon. It's a puka tea. And it's actually quite strong, but it's a good tea, and I'm enjoying it. So I hope that you've got one, two, coffee, tea, whatever you love, and that you're enjoying it this morning. I always start my day with a cup of tea. It just calms me, and also I love buying cups of tea when I travel too, because they're quite inexpensive. You can buy a little package of tea for a couple of dollars, and they give you such joy to read the instructions and go online and find out where that tea comes from, and how good it is for you. Because just about every tea, actually haven't checked the licorice one, but everyone has got something that helps your body. Tea, I think, was just put on the planet to keep us healthy and well. So anyway, my tea fixation. But anyway, I do hope that you're doing great. The other day, I go back through my articles sometimes, and I found this one by one of our bloggers, Sherry Bronson, that I hadn't read in a while. And when I read it, it was wow. This is it. This is an article that I need to share with people, because it really does talk so much about our transition from our 60s and what we have to deal with. And like you, I mean, the last few years for me have been, a challenge in the sense that all these things are happening. Physically, my body is changing. Sherry puts it more dramatically that our body is starting to betray us. I know that mentally, it's not that I've become more forgetful, but I know that I'm just not the same person mentally that I was before. Different, I have different strengths now, but, mentally we change. Emotionally, we feel vulnerable. Part of it's related to our body and our mind and to our circumstances. We just start to feel like we're kind of at that verge of newness that we almost felt like in college. I mean, just, opportunities, possibilities, but what to do, where to go, how to get there. So, I mean, I know many of you are just exactly where you want to be, but I know there's a number of you out there from the comments who, in our conversations, who really are in this more vulnerable state. Spiritually, Sherry reminds us that we're reminded of our mortality. As we get older every day, we're one step closer. I mean, we always have been. This is what's so silly, is that, anything could have happened to us anytime in our beautiful 60 years of life, but it didn't. We were lucky. Well, we were fortunate in that respect. But so spiritually, we start to have a deeper sense of our connection to the end of life, which is very unnerving. Often our finances aren't where we want them to be. We may have lost a good friend, or we could have lost a family member. So many of us have been through divorces. So all these things, are going through our minds. I mean, the final one to mention is that you might be in a bad relationship that you want to change. And, is all kind of amplified as you get a little older. I love what Sherry says here. She says, the genie has vacated our Aladdin's lamp, and we don't know how to sort through the tangled mess or the emptiness of our life. I think it's a really, really good article. And she talks about her own journey out of hopelessness. And for her, it was to start writing. She started a journal, an online blog, Writing for Discovery, it's called, and she started to write for Huffington Post and for 60 and Me, but that was her real journey. Started with her own blog, and she, really started to work on shaping positives out of the negatives, and try to decide, what do you want to do, Sherry? And I really liked her honesty in this article. I totally related to it, and it was like, for her, yoga, meditation, qigong. She went to a therapist, and she discovered in all this journey 3 essential elements of getting what you want out of your life in your 60s. This is going to sound all a little bit abstract sometimes, but for her it worked, and for me, many of these worked as well. First thing she talks about, surround yourself with images of what you want. Now, I don't know if you're ever familiar with storyboards, with visualized storyboards, and a lot of people do this as a meditation. Just get magazines, pictures, look for things that you immediately resonate with, and just grab them, put them on a board, stick them on a piece of paper on the wall, and see what trends start to emerge. And a lot of times you'll find yourself aspiring for what's on the board. And through the magic of something, the universe or whatever you want to call it, those doors start opening. And I think that's what happens by filling your visual field with these dreams. That dream becomes a part of you, and then it can start to get actualized. I think it's really, really powerful. This has happened to me so many times in my life, and I'm sure with you too, that moment I start to accept, create a blank space and accept what I want is going to manifest. It, somehow a door opens, and I watch for the doors. I mean, don't we all? I mean, that's part of it, is to watch for the door and then open it. Go for it. You might not like what you find. It may not be what you thought it would be, but believe that your object of desire exists for you. That's Sherry's advice. Next is to nurture a grateful heart. She says it's the most important thing of all, and I actually agree with her. I think having a grateful heart can open those doors, can find the connections, and I think it's so powerful when you start to be grateful for what you have, truly. Whatever it is, however bumpy it might be, however imperfect it might be, that you can accept yourself, accept who you are, and be grateful for your circumstances, for what you have. And I think that the secret there is to be grateful for the things that have gone in the past, as well as what's in the present. And Sherry makes a point of mentioning this because I think it's really important that we accept and embrace and own the fact that every choice we've made in our lives has led us to exactly where we are right now. Every choice. And I look back on my life and think, oh my goodness, I wished I hadn't made that decision, or perhaps if I'd done this, it would have been different. But it didn't. I made different choices, and here I am. And all the choices and things I made in the past are now, shaping me. And the hardships and all the challenges, everything that we went through, all came to be. And I think, as Sherry points out, like when you clear all the mental clutter, you actually can then, and the guilt and the regrets and all those things that happen when you look back on the past, oh, I should have done this, I could have done this, oh my goodness, if I could have, only done this thing, let it go. And then just accept that where you are is where you are. Now, Sherry moved to Bali. That was her next big step. And I know from talking with her personally that this was the best move of her life. And, despite all the challenges, she's there and happy and loving it. And I think that's what's really important for us, is wherever we are, there we are. I have a great poster. I take it with me whenever I travel. I put it up on the board or the wall. It says, wherever you go, there you are. And I think it's so true that you really can accept that whatever situation you're in, it's the core person still is there. So she says it's worth the effort. Capture the wants, create your visuals, cultivate gratitude, and the most important of all the things is to trust the unfolding. Trust the unfolding. Trust that what is coming up for you now is meant to be. It's a product of all those things that you've experienced, all the hardships, all the challenges, and just trust the unfolding and watch and grow into it. Become that new person. So thank you, Sherry, for writing this article. I was really, really happy to read it again for myself personally, and I'm really happy to share it with the community. It's a lot of inspiration and wise words, so thank you. So I'd like to know, did you find that useful? Was there anything in there that helps you now to shape the next step in your life? Are you trusting the unfolding? I'd love to know, are you getting what you want from life in your 60s? Do you like the way that your life is unfolding? And if not, what are you doing to achieve your dreams? So lots to think about for today, but I hope you found it positive and useful. Go do something wonderful for yourself. Be gentle and kind to yourself. Have a grateful heart. Trust the unfolding. And I'll see you all again very soon. Bye-bye for now.